hmm Uh, this debt ceiling, yeah. And that's going to be the new high water mark of the debt ceiling when we find out how much money was spent during those 2 years. Yes. Hmm. Now, you probably remember during the credit crisis, right? Hank Paulson told the nation, well, we'll have to have that $1 trillion, otherwise we're going to have, we did have a credit crisis, right? And they wrote a check, poop. And then they bought up all the bad mortgages and kind of maybe 20 to 25% of the population experienced what was known as foreclosure. Yeah. Now it looks like the Congress decided that they'd just suspend the debt ceiling. Right. They'd appropriate as much as they could for 2 years. Right. And then we'd find out what the new debt ceiling is. See, it's kind of like a blank check. Yes. Similar to what Hank Paulson experienced during the financial crisis. Right. Well, we can appropriate as much as we want for 2 years. Yes. And then that'll be the new debt ceiling in 2021. Now, you would say I have nothing to say about this. Yes. And the defaulting of our debt would have serious negative effects on the economy. Yes. In fact, the equivalent would be a credit rating decrease. Yes. Double A plus. You know, somehow I think that the appropriation of all the monies during that 2 years where there is no actual legal requirement to recognize any ceiling on the debt of the United States, yes, gives everybody the availability of appropriating everything they want for 2 years. Yes. And then in July of 2021, yes, we get to find out exactly how much money you spent. They just called it something different this time, didn't they? Yes. They used to permanently raise it. Yes. Or they temporarily extended it. Yes. Or they increased the debt ceiling. Yes. But it was very unpopular to talk about it. You would never want to put any constraints on any law of the United States. Now, somehow I think that suspending the debt ceiling, yes, does have a negative effect on the credit rating of the United States. Oh, you just don't know it until they actually readjust the ceiling. Yes. And then we find out how much the nation is going to pay for as the new debt ceiling. Yes. And then we find out how that will affect the credit rating. Yes. Of these products that they sell. Yes. They're known as bills, bonds, or notes. Yes. Now, maybe you could call the Treasury. Because as an individual that has the right to sue you there, Munchkin. Yes. Timmy. Snow. Paulson. All those secretaries of the United States Treasury. Yes. I'm going to want your retirements, and then I'm going to sue you for the criminal restitution. Yes. Of the tax-free distribution of all your retirement accounts. Yes. For the United States Treasury. Now listen, secretaries. Pooch! You got to be the biggest idiots